From Tally to Cali,
it's time
to wake up.
Wake up, wake up. Warchant.com is your ultimate Seminole sports source.
And this is Wake Up Warchant, presented by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
One ball, Corner Pocket.
Now here's Warchant.com's Aslan Hajavandi
and Corey Clark.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. What's up, everybody? Live edition. Been 2 weeks since we've done one of these. How are you, Corey Clark?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, man. I wish I could put my arms around you, man. We had a false alarm a few weeks ago that there was possibility that Corey was going to be right by my side doing a live show. Didn't work out, though.
It'd have been too weird.
I don't know, man. I just want to put my arm around
Like, how would we talk to each other? Would we stare at the camera, or would we look at each other?
Well, just
that close.
Like you would, I mean, like you ever look at the person standing beside you during the Warchant rap.
That's a good point.
I mean, just look for all these squirrels around. You never know. Might be a sniper somewhere.
My glasses are falling off.
Yeah. Welcome in. Live edition Wake Up Warchant, presented by the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Since we are live, presented by VitaminEnergy.com. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill will host a happy hour meet and greet. Jeff Cameron, Corey Clark, Tom Lang, maybe other dignitaries from the warchant.com banner joining you from 5 to 6 o'clock, even a little bit longer as the night progresses. But from 5 to 6, Corey's going to open his heart, open up the flooring plan there to be more welcoming. So you guys go up. If you see Corey, be like, hey, Corey, what's up, man? Love the show. Do it. Corey, like, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
It'll come up and say hello. Don't be shy. Yeah. Don't linger either, though. One or the other. Somewhere in the middle. Am I right, Aslan? I'm just kidding. We appreciate everybody that comes up and says hello and says nice things to us, for real.
What you're wearing there? Is that a Bravos thing?
I mean, we'll see. Tonight might be the last night of the season, but hey, you know what? Can't win them all. Can't win the World Series every year, Aslan.
What a weird sport. I saw something that showed the last 15 years in Major League Baseball, like how many teams have won multiple World Series, how many teams have won a World Series, won a LCS, won a division series. I think it's Cincinnati and the White Sox haven't nothing.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's parity. There's a lot of parity in there for sure. And in the playoffs, I mean, it is anybody's guess.
Well, hey, we're not here to talk about Major League Baseball. We're here to talk about them Noles. We left off on the Renegade Express. We'll be taking your questions as well, folks, here on YouTube. We thank you so much for being here. Hit the thumbs up, please. Let the show ping out there and let people know that we're on air having fun. We left off with our guy, Nole for Life, class of 2007. Wake up, fellas. When someone shows you who they are, you must believe them. I believe that was Maya Angelou who said that. Or maybe it was Snooki from Jersey Shore.
Yeah, it's somebody famous.
Yeah. That's the stance I'm taking with this team moving forward. We hoped for them to be dominant like FSU teams in the past, but being a good to very good team in this 2023 season is just fine. It will create some stressful moments on Saturdays, may even lead to an unfortunate loss, but it is what it is. I think Marcus Aurelius said that first.
Correct.
It is what it is. I love the coaching staff. I love the players. This is a fun team to cheer for. My plan is to enjoy them for what and who they are rather than wishing they were something else. All right. I almost feel like we should dive into that, but he's got a fun question. How much NIL would it take for Syracuse to be relevant in football? I think you guys started $10 million American dollars. Going to take a lot to get kids to want to play in that dome. I'm not going to use that adjective because I've never been there. It looks on the outside, it looks beautiful now, man. The exterior shots of the JMA Dome look great. Anyhow, drink Vitamin Energy. Amen. Beat Syracuse. Which one of those you want to go to, Corey? You want to pile up the stadium, or do you want to talk about enjoying the season for what it is and maybe not what we dreamt it was going to be?
But I agree with the first paragraph in the sense that, I do think you should enjoy this team for what it is because it's an undefeated top 5 team. It hasn't beaten everybody 50-7, and there might be a loss that's coming. But why I don't know, why panic about a hypothetical? Get upset about a loss that comes, and get upset about the Boston College game for sure. But 5-0 is 5-0, and I think he hits the nail on the head. It is not as dominant as FSU teams of the past, and like we talked about earlier this week, Florida State fans, when they have top 5 teams, they usually look different than this. But it's a different world we live in. It just is. It's a different world we live in. It's not the 90s anymore. It's not even the 2013s anymore. So you've got to understand that you might go undefeated. You might go 11-1, and you might kind of kind of throw your hands up 4 more times this season as you win games. Like you might go to Wake Forest and win 30-20. And you might be, oh, that wasn't fun. That wasn't all that pleasant to watch. And it's like, yeah, but the W was pleasant. Just go just take care of business. Keep getting those W's. And yeah, Syracuse, I think it would start at $10 million. To put a competitive football team on the field? Yes.
Oh, really, man? I feel
No,
like
to put a championship caliber football team on the field, because you're battling all the other teams that has much more tradition and a better fan base and better weather. And what do you have to offer that those schools don't have? Because they also have a lot of money too.
all right. Well, I mean, I get it. I'm looking maybe on the to the bright side of it, but like if you found a good quarterback, you
Yeah.
give him $600,000, and then I mean you give other kids 40 grand, 50 grand, just bit players, if you will, role players, and you're relevant. But I guess relevant is obviously a very subjective term, so hard to kind of pinpoint that one. I'm trying to pull
Nationally relevant, it would be like the Jim Brown days. It would take 8 figures.
the Marcus Graves days, perhaps
Who?
those days.
Oh, the old school quarterback. Look at you, man.
Yeah, man, that's how I do it, man. Yeah, what are your
Dwight
thoughts
Freeney.
on this
Dwight
thing?
Freeney days.
Yeah, Dwight Freeney, indeed. Look at this. I think this is a nice. That looks nice on the outside. Looks very European. I
Is
guess
that
that's
what it looks like now? Well,
Yeah.
they're showing it to you at night, Aslan. They're showing it to you at night. They did put those. I've only been there once. It was in 2014, and I drove there and got really violently ill the night
Oh,
before the
boy.
game. They didn't have those post-looking things there.
Yeah.
The scaffolding on top. It was just a big air bubble. So it does look better than it did.
I mean, lipstick on a pig sometimes works
Yeah.
out all right. That's what it kind of is. All right, let's continue on here. Renegade Express. But we'll take your folks' questions as well here on YouTube. I promise. We just want to get to our valued subscribers here. Good morning, guys. Tennis Ump says, our guy in Birmingham. I believe I read that 6 true freshmen played last week. My question is about the number. Is that about the number, Corey, that you expected? And also, are there any that you thought would play that haven't? Thanks as always for all you do.
I'm trying to think. I don't think there's any that I would have thought had played. They haven't had a lot of opportunities to get those guys in, because you remember they could play 4 games and still redshirt. So I think you'll still see more as the season goes on if they get some big leads. But I think I just saw on Twitter that Florida leads the country with 11, and then the next closest has 7. So I feel like they're right in that the realm of where you thought they'd be, including what we count Destin Hill and now Conrad Hussey, and I guess Blake Nicholson might be in the mix a little bit too. You got 3 guys that play a little bit, like are part of the rotation perhaps. Hakeem has played at Clemson. So some of these guys are getting real valuable reps too, but I think that's about the number I was expecting.
I mean, I know he's older, and I think he might technically be a sophomore, but Ashlyn Barker, I don't think he's played football post high school. I mean, I know he was at a junior college, but they redshirted him, so
and he played against LSU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's in the mix there. Yeah, it's about right. I wasn't expecting any of the offensive linemen to play. I mean, I wasn't expecting KJ Sampson to play on the defensive line, so it feels about right. I put Conrad Hussey, I think 40th on my top 40 just as a flyer, or maybe 39th and Destin Hill 40th, just because he came from a really good program, but he wasn't here for spring. But I've even been surprised that he's found a way to get on the football field when the game is still on the line. So that's pretty encouraging for him, I would say, clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and he's coming along, man. I think he's going to be part of their plans moving forward for sure.
Teacher Noel, wake up. What is the deal with these neutral site looking end zones? Do we need SEC or Big Ten money just to afford paint? Whoever is in charge of concessions entering the stadium and putting punting stats on the scoreboard must also be in charge of end zone design.
I'm trying to. What's the end zone design?
I don't know. It just says Florida State and then Seminoles in the other one. There's no white background.
Yeah, it's just grass. It's green, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I love the old school with the white. I don't know why they went away from that many years ago, but I would certainly say the concessions apparently entering the stadium. Although you hear different stories, some people say it's awesome, other people say it's a nightmare. The concession stands apparently are just nightmares there, but hopefully they get all that stuff fixed for this week against Syracuse.
Try to pull it up there. What happened with my My copy and paste function did not work out as planned here, Corey. You know how it looks, everybody, but I'll still try to show it to you, folks, when we talk about those old school Enzos. I don't have one from last week, but yeah, I don't know why they went away from the white. I guess maybe that was probably a little bit more labor intensive. Why is my computer not working now? Anyhow, let's just keep it rolling. Last one, Beham FSU, wake up. Alex Atkins talked about play sequences on Monday. Do you have any more background on the play calling related to that? Does one bad play knock them out of sequence? And could that be a cause of stalling drives?
Well, I mean, it better. I mean, you can't call if you're planning on and I'm just going on like a scripted play. If you think it's going to be 2nd and 6 and it's 2nd and 19, well, you better switch it up. Whatever you call for 2nd and 6 isn't the same thing you call for 2nd and 19. So it will knock them off what they want to do. That said, that's a Norvell thing, I think, I know Atkins coordinates the offense and they game plan, but during the course of a game, that's Norvell's baby. He's calling the plays. And, I don't know. One play, it shouldn't necessarily knock you off your sequence, but it definitely changes the way you call. I do think last week, they converted their first 5 third downs, and like 3 of them were 3rd and 10 or greater, and they still got them. So I thought they did pretty well on 3rd downs for the most part.
Yeah,
but yes, it stands to reason that if one bad play can knock them out of the rhythm they want to get into and the sequencing that they had in mind.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, if it doesn't go according to plan, it's not going to go according to plan. But it's still not like, oh, we thought we were going to be 2nd and 2 after that play, but it went incomplete. Now what are we going to do? I mean, I don't think that's certainly not the case. I mean, just.
Well, and I also think he was talking more about like it's hard to do tempo unless you get a first down. You keep the chains moving, you get that first down, you rush up to the line and you feel better. 3rd and 8, you don't want to rush that play. You make sure you call the right play and everybody's in the right spot, and you don't have to speed up to the line on that. So I think that's what he was talking about is you have to earn. He even said that you have to earn tempo. You have to earn the right to go fast, and that's by gaining yardage and getting first downs.
Corey, is this your guy? Is that your guy?
What's Spencer doing? Spencer, come on, man.
What? What in the world is going on? What? Corey, context?
Yeah. It's definitely him because he's at soccer, and he is the biggest FSU soccer / softball fan that you'll ever meet. Former Marine. Good dude, a Nole, graduated in the 80s at some point, and has really become addicted to soccer and softball. It's really cool. Spencer's a good friend. That's crazy that he did that. He had told me that he had tried to, and he couldn't figure out how to log into YouTube and do it. And I was like, buddy, it's fine. Just give me money right now. But he didn't. He saved it for this. Spencer, you're the best, buddy.
The ladies will be taking on Notre Dame. Crucial game, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. And the ladies are number 1 in the country. I think it's for, it's crucial in the sense that it's for first place in the ACC in October. Yeah. But, it's October. Florida State soccer is more of a late November, Thanksgiving, December program. But, yeah, man, Florida State soccer, number 1 in the country. Spencer, have fun, buddy. I wish him luck.
Spencer, the man, dude. Spence usually hangs out at the corner pocket for the meet and greets.
He does, yeah. He'll be there. I say he'll be there. You better be there, buddy.
I'm going to leave his name up there for a while. We got some questions.
I wonder if Kelly knows he just did that. We'll keep it between us, big guy.
Brett Taylor wonders if Johnny doesn't play, who starts in his place? Our guy Wes in the Villages, assuming Johnny doesn't play, who has a bigger game at receiver, Destin or Portier? See you guys next week for Duke. Go Noles, beat the Orange. So that's a good question. Who would start in Johnny's place if he weren't able to go?
I mean, Portier played his spot the rest of the second half. So I would guess that's your first choice. I guess it would be good timing if Johnny didn't play, that he's kind of working himself back into form. I don't think he's 100% yet. I'm talking about Kentron, but close enough to play. So that's not a bad backup plan. I mean, literally that guy. Hey, Spencer, I'm allergic to you. That guy was your best receiver. I apologize, everyone, especially if you're listening to the podcast and couldn't see that thing coming. My bad. Hopefully, maybe Aslan can edit that out. Portier was your best receiver in the spring. If he can get close to 100%, it is a drop-off. But the Portier we saw in the spring isn't a huge chasm between him and Johnny Wilson. The Portier that we've seen so far working himself back into shape is. So I would think Portier, Darian Williamson, maybe Deuce, or Destin Hill lines up outside. I don't know, man, but they got some bodies to throw at the problem if Johnny can't play.
Our guy felt the head for Virginia.
Sorry, everyone.
Don
Thank you, Don. I appreciate that.
God bless you there. Yeah, I think it'd be nice for Darian to maybe break out or stake his claim once again, because after that Boston College performance last year, he's been battling injuries and been in and out of practice, and they've utilized him in certain sets. You pointed out in the press box, like, well, they got Darian and Ja'Kai out on this set, or they got Darian and someone else that might not be a conventional traditional setup for them. So, but yeah, I guess it would be Portier or probably Williamson. Who do you think has a bigger game? Would it be Portier if Johnny's not able to go, or would it be Destin Hill, do you think, Corey?
I would think Destin Hill. I'm just banging that drum. I'm going to keep banging that drum until we see it. But I just think maybe that catch in the second half the other day could potentially get him going. It could have them looking for him a little bit more. He can play the outside. Like, you don't have to have 6'5" guys on the outside. You could put him out wide and Ja'Kai in the slot. And that gives you some things you could do. But you know what? Hey, half the time they got Morlock split out wide. So we'll see. Could be Jaheim Bell and Morlock taking Johnny's place.
Let me see if I can. Not that I don't believe our guy, but just want to confirm. That's wild. So Rob Krause saying, anybody else a little miffed that Louisville is only playing their second true road game Saturday. I think they played Indiana, neutral field, Indianapolis. That they only have one more the rest of the year. They avoid the big guys, the big dogs of the ACC, and only 3 true road games.
That can't be right. You have to play 4 and 4. You have 8 conference games. You have to play 4 on the road and 4 at home.
Well, I think the Georgia Tech game was in Atlanta, so that wasn't,
Oh, well, sure.
The Dome. True
road game. I get you. I got you. That was a road game though. It wasn't played at Grant Field. I get what you're saying, Rob. That makes sense. But I mean, it's not like that was a bowl game. It was mostly Georgia Tech fans, and there weren't a lot, and there wouldn't have been a lot if it was played at Bobby Dodd Stadium either. So yeah, I get what you're saying. Sure. I think the bigger issue is the not having to play North Carolina, Florida State, or Clemson.
Yeah. I wonder if anybody else has that fate. If anybody else is able to dodge all the quote unquote big dogs. And as I'm looking at the helmet schedule, I don't see that. But yeah, Louisville's got Pitt, true road game this weekend. Off week, host Duke, host Virginia Tech, host Virginia on a Thursday, at Miami, and then host the Wildcats Commonwealth Cup end of the season. So
yeah, man, at Miami, but that crowd won't. Well, I guess it depends on what Miami does the next month, but I can't imagine. There's a chance Miami might be 8-2, 7-3. It's not Florida State. That crowd will be 21,000 people, and that won't feel like a true road game either.
Hey, man, I'm all about taking on Louisville in the ACC championship game.
Sure,
I'm fine with that. I mean, if they go undefeated in ACC play, they'll be ranked, so it'll be a quality win. You'll have won your championship. I don't know. I need to watch some more Louisville. I haven't watched any Louisville, so I really can't make any declaration on who they are or what they're not. But we'll see North Carolina a little more closely this weekend when they take on Miami in prime time after we cover our noon game. How about this guy? Hey, Pereira, everybody. He's a pillar.
Yeah.
Respect. Speaking of which, I need to put the vitamin energy.
Yeah, get it together. Ray, you're the best, man. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, man.
What's up, Ray?
Can't wait to see you in Houston.
Yeah.
Or New Orleans. He can make it over to New Orleans for the playoff game.
Yeah. Thank you, Ray. As always, man. Appreciate you. Greetings, Corey Naslon. There you go, Corey. Yeah.
That's their heart. I can't do it.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, that was close.
I'm convinced Jordan Travis is hurt more than indicated. Not using his left shoulder when he throws, throwing off his back foot to avoid hits, slinging with his right wrist only, long passes falling short, reluctant to really run. Am I wrong? Go Noles, 6-0 this weekend.
We could tell you, Ray, but then we'd have to kill you and delete the show, and we don't want to do that. Look, he's certainly not. I mean, we know he's banged up, but I don't know that what happened against Boston College is necessarily making him throw the ball 8 yards short. It could, but you look at that game, he made some really effective, good throws too. But yeah, I mean, we've all noticed the kind of backing off, the throwing off the back feet, leaning back as he throws. So it's something I don't notice it nearly as much in practice, but then he's wearing a green jersey in practice, so there might be something to that. I think if he steps into a throw and feels comfortable in a pocket, he looks just fine. Sometimes he feels pressure and backs up and throws. He feels pressure sometimes it's not really there necessarily. But by and large, I think he threw the ball pretty well on Saturday. But he can get better, and maybe we'll see that. Well, maybe we'll see the real Jordan Travis, the one we're used to seeing this weekend.
I think he usually has done it, but I saw it once in the Virginia Tech game, and I was like, man, I wish he would be able to work that out of his system. But like when he'll be feeling the pressure coming and he'll throw the ball, then he'll instantly like brace himself.
Yeah.
And I get it, man. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not playing football. I wouldn't want to get hurt. I would want to limit as much contact and, deflect as much bodily damage to myself as much as possible. But like later that night, I'm watching like Caleb Williams get teed off on and Shadur Sanders gets teed off on. Like these guys, like, all right, man, like I'm going to eat it, but I'm going to get a 40-yard completion. I'm going to stick with this. And I think he threw an incompletion on that play. And it was like an 8-yard underneath route. It wasn't the end of the world or anything. But I wonder how much of it is, is it that arm? Is it preserving just his overall health as he is in his 6th year of football and wanting to have bigger, better things on the horizon for him?
Well, and I also think it's, this is his last season no matter what. And so you do know, and he knows how important he is to this team. And if he feels pressure and needs to brace for impact a little quicker than another quarterback would, I get it. It hasn't impacted his play enough that you're like, what's wrong with Jordan Travis? He's there. He's still doing really well, and they're scoring a lot of points. But yeah, I think moving forward, as you play better defenses, he'll have to work some of that out probably because better defenses might turn, like the throw he made to Johnny in the end zone, the first one, where he was rolling to his left and he kind of threw behind him and Johnny caught it. It's a really good catch, actually, because Johnny was running to his left. And, that might be picked off against Miami. They got good safeties. That might be picked off against Duke. So maybe a little bit better, but, there's also some really, really good throws he made in that game. And I love the fact that he ran. I know he only had 20-something yards rushing, but, that was 2 of those were like 14 yards and sacks. And then when he got down very quickly at times, but man, he ran for a couple first downs, had another one taken away because of a hold. I just thought all that was good to see.
I wish he'd run more. And I know it's counterintuitive to what we're talking about him, probably dealing with something, and not so much, designed run stuff, obviously, but I wonder how much of it is just him trying to prove to like, we believe you, man. Like, we know you're a quarterback, Jordan. Like, the NFL knows you're going to be a quarterback too. Run, man. 1, 2, not there. Go. Just run. You're going to get 8 yards. You're fast. You're athletic. You don't have to hang in the pocket all the time and prove to us that, you're this true pocket passing quarterback. Does it work out at all, Corey? Like when you look in your mind's eye for him to maybe not go for like the home run, 25-yard run up the middle and just, when he gets flushed out, maybe just go 7-8 yards and then get out of bounds instead of having to slide all the time and then get hit and then, call for a flag as soon as he feels contact and he slid.
I hate the way he slides. I brought it up a couple of times. I didn't really do a good job asking Norvell this question, but I do not like his quick dip downs when he gets near someone, because understand these defenses all week have been preparing for the Jordan Travis that can run for 130 yards if you let him. So he is a running weapon, and they all plan for it. So when he starts running at them, they're coming at him full speed, not thinking he's going to slide every time because he's busted off an 85-yard run in his career. He's had multiple 50-yard touchdown runs in his career. You don't do that by the first person that gets near you slide. Like that the Colorado State quarterback when Amari Cooper was bearing down on him. He's like, "Oh no." You don't do that when you're a mobile quarterback. So they're trained to come at him hard because they have to, and they have to rally to him because he's so elusive. And that's what I wonder about is when he ducks down so quick around a bunch of people, he's going to take a hit that he might not be able to get up from that game. He's always, there's been 4 times this year where he slid and then tapped himself on the head as in that he just hit me in the head.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like that. There's got to be a better way to do this. I want him to take care of himself, but I also, and also when he slides, they don't like Jordan Travis sliding. They're always going to mark it about 3.5 yards back from where he ends up. And I don't know what the answer is, Aslan. Is it diving forward instead?
Well, it's where you start.
No, I know that, but
No.
it seems like just going back to the Florida game, he's always getting penalized for that. Like I didn't think I thought both those Florida ones should be touchdowns. But yeah, he starts sliding maybe a half a tick too soon. But also, he can make those guys miss. Like he's one-on-one with somebody. He can turn a 11-yard run into a 40-yard run. And it's risk versus reward, I guess. Live to play another day, or you're Jordan Travis, and that safety probably can't tackle you in space. So make him miss. But I get it. You make him miss, and then the guy coming up from behind tackles you and lands on your shoulder. So there's always risk to it. But I do want to see him get better about sliding because it doesn't appear to me that his sliding makes him more safe. Like 4 times this year, literally 4 times this year, he's slidden and somebody has hit him in the helmet where he's having to tap his helmet. He just got kicked out of the game for targeting him on a slide. So clearly I think that has to change. Not that I don't want him to slide, but it's got to be done in a more conducive way to keeping your helmet from getting hit.
VitaminEnergy.com helping us out here live on this edition of Wake Up Warchant. Energy with benefits. VitaminEnergy.com. Promo code is Warchant BOGO, BOGO. Somebody else, Corey, was like, hey, man, the promo code's not working. So like I went onto my computer and I went through it like 5 different times and it worked. So just keep trying. If it gives you problems, get at me. I'll see what I can do. But you go to VitaminEnergy.com. You're like, ooh, I like the ultimate variety pack. I'm going to add that to my cart. And you're like, actually, you know what? Aslan always keeps talking about the Mood Plus. So I'm going to add some Mood Plus to my cart as well. And then I'm going to put the promo code Warchant BOGO and I'm going to get 1 free. That's what I'm hoping for. And that's what happens. It's just a promo code. No spaces. You just type it on in there, Warchant, and then BOGO. You hit apply. Look at that.
I mean, guys, this isn't AI doing
No.
This is really happening right in front of you.
Yeah. So go to VitaminEnergy.com. It's equal or lesser value. And to the best of my understanding, all the 12 packs, they're all, even at the variety pack, or if you get one that's just all Focus Plus, they're all priced the same. So everything falls under the category of being valid for the promo code. So go to VitaminEnergy.com. Shake it and take it.
Nice.
Energy with benefits, y'all. D Hobbs. Shout out D Hobbs. Look at that. Thanks to our guy Josiah back there producing, y'all. That's called producing, everybody. Let's go, gentlemen. Just order my Vitamin Energy. Saturday, I'll be Focused Plus, dialed into the game. Go Noles, on to 6-0. Absolutely. Thank you, man. We appreciate that, D.
Thank you very much. Yeah, a lot of people might need that for a noon start. Get up and get going. As soon as you wake up, if you want to tailgate and get after it, you might need to take some Vitamin Energy as soon as you wake up.
Shout out to Robert D.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Tough act to follow, coming behind Spence and Ray.
Spencer and Ray, yeah. Robert, we appreciate it all, man. Thank you, buddy.
Absolutely. Bless you, by the way, as well, Corey. So all the spirits have
thank you.
been returned.
That came out of nowhere. I apologize. Next time I'll try to hit the mute button. I do have one of those on my computer.
I know, it's like, and I feel like you almost pulled your microphone closer to your mouth when you went for the sneeze. So I thought you were gonna like flip it up.
Why do that? I wanted people to feel like they were in my mouth when I was sneezing. So you're welcome, everyone.
Shout out to Ant.
Dollar bills, y'all.
$2 in the jar. Appreciate you, Ant. On
Big Ant.
Saturday, we going to show Miami how to take a knee. Okay.
Yeah, I it's going to be interesting. Not Norvell taking a knee. He's shown he can do that. I wonder the next time Miami and North Carolina, or if North Carolina gets a lead, like a big lead, do they just start taking a knee with 12 minutes to go, just to rub it in, like just Mac doing that, or will Miami be headstrong and with a 6-point lead with 1:10 to go, not take a knee? So yeah, you told me though, and we talked about it on Coach Speak, which I think should be out now, about Saban throwing a pass that he shouldn't have thrown
Yeah.
on first down. And Jimbo brought it up afterwards. Like, you think we made a mistake calling a timeout for the field goal?
Yeah.
Oh, Nick threw the ball, which is like, that doesn't make any sense either.
Yeah.
So coaches are just losing their mind. And we know Saban knows what the victory formation is.
He was on McAfee, and I think he said something about maybe the play prior was in jeopardy of being challenged. So they ran up to the line. And the wide receiver was open, I guess. Like, there was nobody.
Oh, so it was like it would have been a play that dictated whether it was a first down or not.
Yeah.
So that was okay. I got you. Okay. Well, that makes a little more sense. I still feel like you could snap it and take a knee.
Yeah. What if I think how some people pay homage to opponents, like in sad situations, like they'll go out on the field with 10 players or something.
Right. Yeah.
North Carolina should just come out and knee on the first play.
The kneel on the first play. Yeah, exactly right. Just dig that knife in a little bit.
Point at Mario, but hey, man. Got you, man. Got you. Thanks, Ant. We appreciate you. Mike Samid? Mikey. Was the second quarter last week and that kickoff return worse, or was the fourth quarter at Boston College worse? We can say we got caught looking ahead to Clemson when we talk about Boston College, but did we get caught looking ahead to the Cuse?
Had to. That's the only explanation. No, that's a good question. I would say the fourth quarter at BC, because the game was really in jeopardy. And I don't know what the yardage is and for both those instances. I know it was like Florida State had 1 yard in the second quarter, which is incredible against Virginia Tech. But I do know in the Boston College game, you were in real danger of losing that game. I wouldn't say you ever felt like you were in real danger at that moment. You're in the second quarter. So that's what disappointed me so much about the Boston College game was, that you talk about having your back up against the wall. Your back was up against the wall. You were about to lose to Boston effing College, and you didn't get out of the spiral. You couldn't get yourself out of the spiral. It took a face mask. I mean, it took a defensive stop too, but it took a face mask. Virginia Tech, so I guess I would say Boston College because of the fact that they could. Now, apparently half the team had the flu. It's not an excuse, but it's the truth or close to the truth. So that wasn't good, or getting over the flu. So that might explain why they got worse as the game went on. But yeah, I would say that was the worst one, is the fourth at Boston College, because you were so close to actually having it, to losing the game. Virginia Tech felt just like kind of a loss in focus. And again, this is an excuse. I don't care. The referees gave them points and took points away from you. That's a perfect hit. That's an interception. Nothing wrong with it.
Man, fourth quarter, Florida State had 5 plays, a 5-play, 3-yard drive.
So they got a first down.
Which,
I
how's it
guess.
even possible? They must have got sacked or something.
Yeah.
Then they had a 5-play, 21-yard drive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You remember that one. It was a big one.
Then a 3-play, 7-yard drive that took up 42 seconds of clock.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
And then the ending drive, 6 plays, 8 yards, 2 minutes. So, yeah, you said it. I mean, Corey said it. You laughed. I laughed during the Virginia Tech game. I'm like, what are they doing? Boston College was kind of like, wait, like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Stop this. Like it was a real possibility, but Virginia Tech, not so much. Young Seminole. Shout out Young Seminole.
Dollar bills, y'all.
$5 in the jar. Tay Cody in ours? That's Tay Cody, right? Tay Cody against the Gators.
It's a 27, right? It could be Xavier Rhodes too. I can't see it. See it close enough.
It's against Taylor.
Oh, that's got to be Tay Cody then. That's got to be the Hail Mary in 99 that they knocked down.
Yeah.
to clinch going to the Sugar Bowl to play Virginia Tech.
Thank you, young Seminole, for the $5 in the jar. The man, the myth, the legend, or better known as the Machine, Bert Kreischer, will be at the game Saturday, so maybe some extra luck for our Noles. 45-7.
Is that true?
I don't know. Why would young Seminole make that
He
up?
wouldn't. Young Seminole, we appreciate it. The donation tip too. We do appreciate that. I sort of have a I'm not name dropping here, but I sort of have a Twitter relationship with Tom Segura that goes back like 11 or 12 years before he became, one of the biggest podcast stars in the world. And he's a huge Florida State fan. And obviously Bert went to Florida State and was the basis for Van Wilder. So I was telling Tom, I was like, man, if Florida State hosts Miami and it's like 9-0 versus 8-1, and that's the game day game. Oh, there we go, right there. Maybe Segura could be the guest picker. I told him he should be the guest picker if that could. But they might go with Bert too. Looks like he's lost some weight. Old Bert, old Christ dog.
Let me take the banner down. He's got he tweeted Florida, I'm coming home. He's got an old Florida State helmet, like old Spear, Charlie Ward.
Charlie Ward, yeah.
Dion. Which, by the way, how about the fact that Dion doesn't like games that start at 8 o'clock, but his nickname's Primetime?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's
Dion,
a little ironic. That's funny. All right, well, that's cool for Bert. That's cool that Kreischer's coming. It's a weird game for him to come to. I guess he's on tour, I would assume. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Hopefully Segura can make a game too.
Yeah, I went big, man. I went big on the Warchant report powered by Cummins. I said 45-6.
Oh my gosh. All right. Okay.
And all day today, I'm like, what did I do?
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're going to have their full weaponry available. But Syracuse, Syracuse can't score points. And if you get stops, this offense will figure out a way. I just, that 17.5 is a funny number.
It is. It's weird that it's that low to me. That's what gives me pause. I would say, it's hard to imagine Syracuse scoring like in the mid to high 20s. And I'm not saying they can't. The crazy stuff happens all the time in college football. But if they do, something has gone horribly wrong. Either like a fumble return, a pick six, another kick return, or your defense can't stop an offense that North Carolina completely shut down. So that would not be a good sign either.
Man, don't get me started, y'all. Y'all got to be careful with these questions about playoff teams and scenarios and situations. Not Florida State winning the ACC. If they go undefeated, getting left out, we're not touching that one today. But Michael Lee says, curious question. Georgia, Pac-12 champion, Big Ten champion, Oklahoma, Florida State. Everybody goes undefeated. Who gets left out of the playoff? Georgia won't.
No, and in the Pac-12 and Big Ten champion shouldn't.
No.
That's those, like, if you win the Big Ten championship, you're going to have to beat Penn State and Ohio State, or Penn State and Michigan, or Michigan. You're going to have to beat two really good teams. I think it would come down to Florida State and Oklahoma. And obviously, guys, we know the chances of this. When's the last time there were 5 undefeated teams? The better question is, all those teams have one loss.
Yes.
That's not the better question, but the more likely question. It would come down to Florida State, Oklahoma. Oh. And Oklahoma would be playing Texas again, so they would get to beat Texas again. So it would kind of matter who Florida State's playing in Charlotte, what their record is, and what they're ranked, and how good people think they are.
I said this on the message board. People are like, is Oklahoma the team that we need to be rooting against? Are they the ones standing in Florida State's way of making the playoff? I zagged. I think a one-loss Pac-12 team gets in ahead of a one-loss Florida State team.
But not a no-loss Florida State team.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm not trying to say that I think Florida State's going to lose a game. I mean, it's, history says it's likely, but I'm not conceding that.
Right.
But one loss Florida State, one loss Washington, even if they lose to Oregon on Saturday, they'll still have ended up beating like Southern Cal, Washington State, UCLA, I think, Utah, not UCLA. So they'll probably have more ranked wins than Florida State at that point.
Yeah, look, man, if LSU and Clemson end up 10-2 and 9-3, if they both go 9-3 or 10-2 and they're both top 15, and then the team you beat in the ACC championship game is top 10, and you beat them convincingly, it's just going to become a beauty contest again, which is never fun. That's why I'm very, like, I don't mind. We've talked about this before. If we're arguing between the number 13 team and the number 12 team, well, both those teams have 2 or 3 losses at least. Well, not at least. Nobody's gonna have 4 losses and be in there, but they might have 2 or 3 losses, both of them. So that's like, all right, well, you had a couple bad days. I don't feel too bad for you. But the one loss stuff that's going to happen this last year, that's what bothers me. It's like, how look at those 5 games. Look at those 5 teams. How would anybody decide who's more deserving?
Yeah.
Like, Georgia won't have maybe not have beaten anybody except the SEC West champion. That might be their only ranked win of the year.
I zagged. I think what you really want to root for is Texas to lose another game. And if Texas plays Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game, I don't think Oklahoma will get benefit of the doubt like TCU. If there's a bunch of other one-loss teams, because there wasn't a one-loss ACC champ last year. There wasn't a one-loss Pac-12 champion last year. So let a 2-loss Texas redeem themselves and beat Oklahoma in the championship game on a neutral site. Like, I think Oklahoma gets knocked out completely, and then that opens the door for Florida State and the Pac-12 champ to sneak in with the Big Ten champ and Georgia in that situation, or the SEC champion.
Yeah, right now though, there is a chance that there is a chance Clemson, LSU, and LSU, that is an absolute wild card. What that team is going to end up being. Clemson, LSU, Miami, if they can not just crater, and whoever you play in the ACC championship game, that's 4 teams that would have 9 wins. They could have 9 or 10 wins.
Duke is all. You guys will probably throw
Duke
too.
Yeah, that's right. And Duke too. So you might play 5 teams that have, let's say, they all have 9 wins, except for the ACC champ. They'll probably have 10 or 11. The team you play in that's pretty good. You would stack that up with like beating a 3 or 4 loss Utah team, or beating a 3-loss UCLA team. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, gang.
Yeah. But by all means, we can get back to that bridge and cross it again as well, folks. Whenever you want to talk about this stuff, I love it. I'm here all day for this sort of stuff. Let's see what else we got here on our live chat. We are live, presented by Vitamin Energy. Wake Up Warchant, presented by the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Does anyone? Let me see here. William does anyone really Georgia or Michigan believe? I don't know. I'm not scared. I need to watch Michigan. He thinks Michigan would fry us at this point. They're supposedly really good. Like, they're scoring and they're keeping teams out of the end zone at a clip that hasn't been seen in like 20 or 30 years, I think. They're not playing anybody great, but Boston College and Virginia Tech aren't that great either.
No, I know, but I mean, let's not pretend that Michigan has seen anything like the Florida State offense. I'm not predicting Florida State would beat them. Michigan has not, and probably will not, see any offense with the weapons that Florida State has. So, look, man, if Florida State played like they did against Boston College, Michigan would beat them by 3 scores. But that's the beauty about this sport. You don't play your worst all the time.
Henry Lyles, he was pulling up some Aaron Rodgers RELAX talk earlier. It was good. I forgot to bring it up, Henry. My bad. But he says, we're live, boys. It's Cuse week. I'm hoping for 45-10. What do you guys think has to happen this week to quell all these nitpicky issues from the fans against the offense and defense?
Number one, I think that's a vocal minority. I don't think most fans are nitpicking. I also think it's the age we live in. There's so much media that we produce that gives people the chance to comment, and people want to comment. It's something to talk about. You don't want to just sit there and be like, "Isn't this fun?" all the time? Like, isn't this fun to be 5-0? You do want to talk about the team and what has to get better. So I do understand that. I don't know. Some of it's nitpicky. Some of it's genuine concern. Some of it's just let's talk about something. I would say the answer to that is score in the 50s. 45 would be good too. But if you can score in the 50s, if you can, get another pass catcher involved, and run all over Syracuse again like you did last year, which is a big if, but if you can do that, I think that would be – I just think most of the nitpicky for now is with the offense.
Yeah.
Because I think most people look at that defense that just gave up 10 points last week and gave up 7 points to Clemson in the second half and are just like, yeah, this is pretty good to good defense, which is what we were expecting. The offense, you'd like to look – the numbers are there, the points are there. I get it, and I've been espousing that all week, but you would like a little more – you just don't want to have dry, empty quarters. You want to be a little more consistent maybe for 4 quarters. I think that's what people would want to see.
Marcus W. Guys, why was Ja'Kai Douglas on the field more than Destin Hill last Saturday? Also, who's faster between the two?
That's good. I think Destin's faster. Ja'Kai is really Ja'Kai is lightning quick. I don't know in a straight ahead race he's still fast. I mean, he's one of the top 1% of people that can run in this world as far as speed, but along with a lot of other Florida State guys. But I would say I think Destin Hill straight ahead is faster. But Ja'Kai is, you watch him in these one-on-ones, gang, and he's just impossible to cover when there's a lot of space. He is just so quick. He just makes guys look foolish sometimes. So, and I don't know if that's true. If Douglas was on the field more than Destin, but it seemed like it, which pretty good, might be a good indication of to why Winston Wright is no longer part of the receiver corps.
Destin Hill, 23 snaps. Ja'Kai Douglas, 17.
Come on, Marcus. That's fake news. Get your facts right. Ja'Kai Douglas was going to be a big part of this offense, and he got hurt. I feel like he literally got hurt on, what did we say, like the first practice, the first period almost?
Period
so
3.
He'd been out like not doing team stuff for a while as he recovered and got back. And yeah, once they saw he was at full speed, they loved that guy, man. And he's made some plays. He's a matchup problem. But so is Destin Hill. And wonder if Destin Hill would have caught one of those.
Grillmaster says Luke Kromenhoek just got his 5th star. When was the last time we had a 5-star quarterback commit?
Was it? Well, it wasn't Malik Henry because I think he lost his star.
Yeah.
He was a 5-star, and then he turned into a abject horror show. I don't know how many stars that's worth. So I would guess
Jameis,
right?
I think so. Yeah.
He's a 5. I wonder if that's on 3 or it doesn't matter. Hey, good for him, man. Good for him. 5-star QB. Can he run, Aslan? I forget. I've watched so many of these. I don't watch a ton of prep highlights, but I remember watching his from a few months ago, and I couldn't remember if he could move or not.
Yeah, Drake Mayish. He's athletic.
More athletic than you think. Sneaky fast.
Not saying that. Didn't say all that. Just saying he's athletic.
Got it.
He's athletic, everybody. Look at Tomcat. Don't hit the button. I just want to hit it. Somebody did the math. I don't know if it's true or not, but they're like, this is how you compute the odds in the YouTube comments. And I don't know.
Oh, good. What was it?
3%.
There's a 3% chance of it happening.
Yeah. Of all
so
three
I was
teams.
right. Way more than you thought.
Well, mine is the possibility of them not making it in.
Oh. Somebody's got to do that math.
Because, again, it's going to come down to like your conference opponent's record. And Florida State doesn't have Virginia on their slate. And I think North Carolina plays Virginia, or Louisville does.
Right.
So, like, that is going to sink their opponent's conference winning percentage. Florida State doesn't have it. Boston College is going to have a pretty good conference record. Clemson's going to have a pretty good conference record. Despite Miami flubbing things away, I think they're going to probably have a pretty good one. Duke, it's, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, all 3 play Miami. All 3, I assume North Carolina plays Duke. So all 3 play Duke. But Florida State does not play Georgia Tech, and they do not play Virginia. Although, heck, Georgia Tech might run the table after that miracle. That's team destiny. Team of destiny right there.
So yeah, that's what I was trying to kind of put forth of that thought there. But yeah, man.
So for the people who don't listen, one of the tiebreakers that would actually come into play is the winning percentage of your opponents. If all teams go 8-0, the winning percentage, the conference winning percentage, the winning percentage of your conference opponents. And Florida State playing Miami, Clemson, and Duke really helps.
Yes.
It should really help. Well, I say Miami. I mean, literally, I can't express how fascinated I am by that game on Saturday between those two teams, Miami and North Carolina. I just can't.
Miami's a common opponent for all three of us too, though. So if Miami sucks, then we're all in the boat together.
Oh yeah, good point. Good point.
We don't have Virginia on our ledger. Like we are good, everybody.
Yeah.
So like that's why I don't really like entertaining this.
I feel like Louisville is the one that's in trouble because Louisville, like Florida State and North Carolina, both get Clemson, and Louisville does not.
Yes.
Louisville replaced Clemson with Virginia, so that's probably at least 5 or 6 wins in your ledger that Louisville won't have.
All right. Sorry about that, Tomcat. Appreciate you though getting involved in here. You get involved in making your picks this week over at mybookie.ag. You can use the promo code WARCHANT when you sign up for the first time for an instant cash deposit bonus. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere at MyBookie. NFL lines, Major League Baseball divisional series, obviously college football. That's what we like over here.
You can bet on the Braves in Game 5 on Saturday when they're playing.
There you go. Currently right now, the Noles with the third best odds, shortest odds, I like to say. At plus 830, Georgia, Michigan kind of distancing themselves as maybe the top 2 teams right now. But hey, 4 get into the playoff, and then all you got to do is win 2 more games. So check that out over at mybookie.ag. Our picks again was Corey just taking mine. He's taking the under on LSU Auburn.
Yeah.
I'm taking the over. And we both think that Washington State is going to respond and win by more than 8 points against a downtrodden, who did they have? Arizona team that lost to Southern Cal in a heartbreaking fashion in 3 overtimes. Yeah, talk about them. They're, Miami not having faith in their coach. Arizona's players are like, our coach didn't even know the rules.
Yeah, that probably hurt in the locker room too.
Yeah, so we'll see how that all works out. But you go to mybookie.ag where you can bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Look at Oklahoma, not even in the picture almost, just on the cusp of that photo. So it's going to be all right, everybody. Florida State controls their destiny. That's pretty cool. Mybookie.ag, promo code WARCHANT. Use it. Shout out to James Fountain listening from Kingsland, Texas. Go Noles, he says.
There we go. I wonder where Kingsland is.
I don't know. Bakari's here, man.
Bakari's in the house.
Bakari getting greedy, hopping on Renegade Express, hopping on the live show. Things you love to see. What's up, Bakari? Sorry for the No, apologize for the tardiness. You're a subscriber, man. You do whatever you want. $20 in the jar. Thank you, Bakari. Keep up the good work, fellas. Help me settle a debate I've been having. Oh, this is all Corey Clark. So, Corey, have you found out where Kingsland, Texas is yet?
It's I'm still scrolling out.
Okay.
It's I'm gonna guess it's like 45 minutes from Austin.
Okay.
Looks like almost kind of a suburb of Austin. Looks like it's right on the river, some river. It's also unincorporated. So I don't even know what that means, but unincorporated Kingsland.
Yeah, it looks like it's northwest of Austin. Probably about 45 minutes or so drive. Anyhow, settle the debate, Corey. Who was better? Amply, Rock Preston?
Bakari, that's a great question. We appreciate it. We appreciate the tip. That's very, very kind of you. Look, so for people that don't know, and sadly there are some, Amply played from 89 to 91. He was really, really, it's Amply. Rock Preston played he was Warwick Dunn's backup in 94, 95, 96. Yes, or 95, 96. No, 94, 95, 98. Rock Preston was very good too. He scored the game-tying touchdown in the choke at Doak. That's how much they trusted him. He would just replace Warwick Dunn, and you wouldn't miss much of a beat. I just think Amply was so good out of the backfield. He was so good, and he didn't get to play in the hurry-up shotgun offense that came the next year with Charlie, which I think he would have been incredible in that too. He didn't get the benefit of that necessarily. All those swing passes, one-on-one with slow ACC linebackers. So I would say Amply, but I love the question because Rock Preston was – anybody that was a Florida State fan during that time of Rock Preston knows how good he was. Amply is still a name that resonates because he scored a ton of touchdowns and was a starter for 2 years. but Rock Preston was really, really good. I think he ran for when they beat Notre Dame in '94 in Orlando, I think Rock Preston ran for 100. They both ran for 170 yards in that game, 160 yards.
Yeah, I'm trying to help you out with some context and stuff, but
and people that would know. So it really hurt that Warwick Dunn in the national championship game against Florida in '96. He had the flu, and he tried to play, couldn't play. He came out in the third quarter and couldn't come back in the game. And Rock Preston was ineligible, so it went to D. Feaster, who was a true freshman. And if Rock Preston was still in the game, maybe it turns a little bit because Rock Preston was a weapon.
Ricardo Preston, by the way, and I never.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is he on there? I don't even see him.
He's not on that list, which is
Okay.
crazy. But yeah, was it the Notre Dame game?
The '94 Notre Dame game. Yeah, he had a ton of yards in that one.
12 for 165 and a touchdown.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good player. Had a huge run against Miami in '96 too on a third down to kind of really put that game away. But yeah, Amp Lee ran for 2,000 yards and how many touchdowns?
30.
Yeah, that's a lot. He was second in the nation in 90 in touchdowns. And he was just so slippery. Rock Preston was much faster, but Amp Lee was so slippery, man. He was impossible to tackle. I would encourage people to go watch old highlights of Amp Lee. He just made people look silly. He would in the Michigan game, in '91, they just run a toss sweep to him, and there's a dude out there waiting for him. He does a little shimmy. The dude literally takes a knee. He takes a knee as Amp Lee runs in the end zone. It's crazy.
Rock Preston, 179 for 1,412 yards in his career. That's a 7.9 yard per carry average.
Yeah, and Amp Lee, meanwhile, had
five.
He had 400 carries.
Right. Yeah.
He had 405 carries, so he had 230 more carries than Amp Lee, or than Rock Preston did. Rock Preston was awesome.
Rock Preston averaged more than 2.5 yards per carry than Amp.
Yeah. Different offense. You have to make those qualifiers. And Amp Lee didn't get to play in the ACC, so he was playing probably a more difficult schedule. But still, Rock Preston was awesome.
Grizzle says Amp Lee. Ray Pereira says Amp Lee had the best hip jukes. Island Chief, Amp better in space, Rock better for tougher yards. All right, good conversation.
I like that. It's right up my alley.
By the way, Kingsland is on the Llano River, and it connects to Lake Lyndon B. Johnson.
I guess that's what I'm going to. Or LeBron James.
True.
Would they have named a lake after LeBron? In Austin? I don't know.
Brandon Walker, question for next season. Store this one away. I will not restart my computer, Norton antivirus. Go away.
Nice.
Do you hear that chime from time to time?
I did. Yeah, I did hear. I heard it there on yours. Yeah.
If Mike Norvell and the offensive staff decide to start Brock Glenn over Tate Rodemaker next year, would it surprise you if Tate and Duffy enter the portal? And would that not leave us with a true freshman as our only backup?
No, it would not surprise me. It definitely wouldn't surprise me if Duffy enters the portal, and it wouldn't surprise me if Tate doesn't win the job, that Tate enters the portal. But the qualifier there is Tate's not going to know if he won the job. You know what I mean? Tate, right. What was that? No, what was that for?
Well, I gave him false information. Kingsland's on the Colorado, or connects. It's on the Llano River. Sorry, or the Colorado.
No so I Tate won't know he's lost the job. I don't think before August 20th. Does that make sense? There's no way they're going to say, Tate, you need to go somewhere else. Tate will be in a dogfight for the job, the starting job. It could be he and Brock Glenn. It could be he, Brock Glenn, and Luke, the 5-star Croman Hawk. And it could be another kid from the portal. Who knows? But Tate, there's no way they're going to come out of the spring telling Tate, man, you're not going to win the job. I think Tate will go into August thinking he's the starter. I think he will be the starter going into August, and he'll have to win the job over those 3 or 4 weeks. And by that time, I guess you could transfer, but I don't understand what the point would be.
Another one from our guy, Bakari. Better kick returner, Leon Washington, Tamarick Vanover.
So, Leon. But I think that has that's painted with his NFL, what he did in the NFL. And he also returned punts, and Tamarick didn't do that. Vanover was incredible as a freshman, and then they never even kicked it to him as a sophomore, and that was that. But I don't know, man. Vanover was good in the NFL too. That's a toughie. That's a toughie. Vanover has more memorable plays. Like he returned kickoffs for touchdowns in back-to-back games, including Miami to start a game. He had the 2 long ones against Florida later that year. And then for the Chiefs, he had some big ones too. But I still think I would. No, I'm switching it. Tamarick. But okay. I don't know. Leon made the Pro Bowl a couple times at kick returner. I don't know that Vanover did that.
Tamarick was so feared. Like he was up there with like Raheem Ismail in terms of like,
yes,
don't kick it to that guy. We were deathly afraid of him.
That's
Leon,
a good point. Yeah.
So, but shout out Leon. What 2002 Florida game? Did he return one? Or he went
almost. 2003, he returned it like 75 or 80 yards.
Okay.
He had one against Clemson for a touchdown in 2002, I think. On the only Thursday night game ever played in Doak.
That's true. Yeah, I remember 2002 Florida game, like the whole A.J. McPherson situation. Greg Jones got hurt in Wake Forest. I think Booker really wasn't part of the plan at that point. So like the other freshmen went nuts. Leon helped spark that win. So,
but as a running back,
yeah,
as a running back, yeah,
I think he might have had a good return in that game as well. It escapes me. I'll see if I can maybe pull it up here.
Man, I would have loved to have seen Leon in this offense.
Absolutely. Oop, wrong one. Come on, Aslan, figure out.
Get it together, A-Train.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Mark Perez here, everybody. Give it up for Mark, y'all.
What up, Mark?
By the way, I didn't realize one of these guys on the all-time leaders rushing list, his wife is a subscriber to warchant.com.
Oh, okay, but you're not going to tell us which one.
I don't know.
Don't do it. No, don't do it. I like that. Yeah.
Anyhow, wake up, guys. Mark Perez says, love the show. Thank you, Mark. I can only hope to one day shake hands with the great Corey Clark.
Well, we might dap it up. I shake hands too. We can shake hands. Absolutely. But hey, buddy, the honor would be mine.
Also, Aslan, how about Lawrence Toafili showing how we do it in the 727? Yeah, hey man, listen, maybe I should have put that down as surprises. When somebody asks us for our biggest surprises, disappointments, I've continually undervalued Lawrence Toafili. I will stop now, Lawrence. I stopped after the LSU game, man. That what was it? Was a 4th down screen pass that he busted off?
Yeah. It was a great call.
I'm like, all right, man. Like, I got you. It's that Clemson one, in Death Valley in 21 was like, man, that was cool, but like it was so freakish. But he almost did it again practically last week against Virginia Tech. So all the respect to Lawrence Toafili, Pinellas Park Patriot, Lawrence Toafili. Polynesian All-Star game, I think, nominee last year.
Oh,
Lawrence
okay, great.
So
for him.
Mark Scott, Florida State 49, Syracuse 13.
Okay, that would be awesome. That would be that'd be a really nice showing. And if they would cover, which is what everybody's hoping for.
All right, let's wrap it up. Maybe one or two more here.
Thank you, Mark.
904 Knoll. Shout out 904 Knoll.
Dollar bills, y'all.
$4.99 from 904 Knoll. I know everyone talks about Jalen Ramsey, Derwin James, Deion Sanders, etc. Where would y'all rank Greg Reed and what could have been if he didn't get kicked off the team?
Look, I think he's not on their tier as a defensive football player. But he was a playmaker, man. It's so unfortunate what happened there and the reason it happened. It's just so unfortunate and kind of dumb in hindsight, looking back from all parties and just the way institutions and the NCAA used to handle essentially weed. But I still think he's the best punt. For my money, I think he's the best punt returner they've ever had.
Pound for pound.
Pound for pound, the best punt returner they've ever had. Not the fastest. Probably didn't score the most touchdowns, but he caught everything. And he caught everything on the run, trying to make plays. And now, would he be able to do that now when when all these Aussies roll out to the right and kick it, 8 miles in the air? Because that's how they're born. That's what they're bred and born to do, apparently. Probably not. He wouldn't be that big a weapon because people don't punt like they did back when he was playing. Man, how old are we that I'm saying that? Like Greg Reed is an old timey player now. But man, he was very good. I think he's undervalued in the transformation from Bowden to Jimbo's great teams. Greg Reed was in the heart of that 2010 team. He was a big name. He was a 5-star kid that chose Florida State, that probably got other people to choose Florida State. He was exciting. He was not a great cornerback, but he was a very good college football player.
Well said.
Thank you, buddy.
Last one, Rob Kraus. Good topic. Put any ex-player you'd like in this offense. He says, big play, Willie Reed. This is my answer for this coaching staff and every coaching staff that comes after. Chris Ricks, baby. Chris Ricks. Could you imagine Chris Ricks in 2023, man? Read option.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Tough as nails.
Yeah,
Pretty
tough as
boy.
nails. That's right.
Which is fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Pretty boy. But tough as freaking nails, man.
So you would take Chris Ricks over Charlie Ward or Jameis?
Give me Chris. Give me Chris.
Okay. All right.
Hey, man, we've seen Jameis. We've seen Charlie. They've had
That's true.
They were utilized. They were maximized.
Yeah, they were maximized. That's a good point, Aslan. Somebody that wasn't maximized during their time. Can I go back to Leon Washington?
Sure.
I think he would have been. He would be really good at this offense. Obviously, Dalvin and Kelvin and all these guys that we all know were awesome. But somebody that wasn't maybe utilized correctly, like big play Willie Reed. I don't think he was utilized well during his time at Florida State necessarily. I'll go with Leon Washington.
Preston Parker.
Leon.
Okay.
Leon.
The real 16.
Sure.
By the way, shout out to our, I think a subscriber. I don't know his name, but he created these, I guess, kind of these lazy Susans that I'm going to put on my kitchen.
Turntables.
Yeah. But when I think of turntable, I think of like a DJ and a music device. So, but it does spin, as you can see.
Looks like a table that turns to me.
Yeah. So we appreciate it. We all have one of these.
So that's awesome. That's really nice. We got nice people.
Yeah, I'll try to figure out a way to showcase this thing
without blocking our sponsor.
Don't block the sponsor. But we all have it. We appreciate you. Thanks so much. Thanks.
Just hold it the whole time, like a baby.
Hit the thumbs up, everybody. Thanks to 904 Noel. Thanks to Mark Perez. Thanks to Bakari, Young Seminole, Ant, Ray Pereira, pictured on your screen, Robert D. And
Spencer coming out of the woodwork,
dropping that elbow.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the Pillardom.
Yeah. Stay connected to warchant.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to warchant.com. It's only $1 for a month. Man, the playoff poll is going to be dropping in like 2.5 weeks, everybody.
Okay.
So
all right.
You're going to want to be hanging out with all of us. Jeff Cameron Show, 1 to 3 o'clock. Warchant Report, powered by Cummins, already up on the site. Coach Speak, dropping maybe already. Who knows?
Any minute now, if it hasn't already, yeah.
Who knows? So,
hey, the corner pocket, be there from 5 to 6 or 5 to 7, however long you want to stay, and come hang out and talk to us and say hello. We're going to try to have a prize where you can pick the score and maybe get a gift card to Corner Pocket or something. Still working on the details, but we'll have something for you.
Also, Hotel Indigo pregame show starts at 10 o'clock. Doors open 9:30 a.m. Hotel Indigo. Roll into town. Don't worry about setting up a tailgate and a tent. Go hang out at Hotel Indigo. Jeff Cameron, Tom Lang, pregame show. Again, doors open 9:30. Show starts at 10. He's Corey. I'm Aslan. And this is our cool little turntable. Yeah. And Josiah back there. We appreciate you all hanging out with us. And thanks for watching Wake Up Warchant, presented by the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill and VitaminEnergy.com. Go Bravos!